Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be doing a best power forwards tier list, where I'm going to rank the best power forwards in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM on this tier list. Before we hop into the video, I just want to give a huge shout out to Nate, Ty's brother. Y'all all know TyDeBo, but I want to give a shout out to his brother Nate, who's his editor, who also makes these tier lists and edited this tier list specifically for me so that I could come in and record this video today. So huge shout out to him for doing that. I'm also going to leave Ty's link down in the description, so make sure y'all go sub to Ty if y'all don't. I assume the vast majority of my viewers already subscribe to Ty, but if you don't, make sure y'all go show his channel some love as well. Also, if y'all would subscribe to my channel as well, we're just barely over 200 subscribers away from the 3,000 subscriber mark, trying to hit that in the near future, and I would really appreciate your support if you haven't already, if you do subscribe. Without further ado, let's not waste any more time. Let's hop into it and start off with Nicholas Batum, and I think Nick Batum is still probably an A tier power forward. This was a really good budget option, especially when Evo to Pink Diamond, because he was super easy to Evo to Pink Diamond, and y'all can see the Evo requirements are very easy to complete. Only took a few triple threat offline games, but yeah, so Nick Batum is a super solid card. He's got hot spots from almost everywhere, a solid number of badges. Hall of Fame badges are pretty good, bullet passer and dimer, as well as off-ball pass, tireless defender, and slowly finisher as well as needle threader. So some decent Hall of Fame badges, good playmaking badges. The problem is with him being an Evo card, he doesn't get a lot of upgradable badges. Actually, I don't think he gets any. So you can't add the rim protector on him. You can't add sniper, limitless spot up, or blinders, or badges like that, which are definitely nice badges to have. But he's a nice all-around card. Good defender on both the interior and the perimeter. He's got good size at 6'8". 80 driving dunk, 85 shot three, good athletic ability, but not great. Jump shot is solid. It's not the best jumper in the world, but catch and shoot, it's decent. And then slasher dribble style, he's not going to be moving much in the half court, but he can do it just a bit. Like, he's just a solid all-around card. Can do a decent amount of everything on the court. Still a guy who I think you could run and have some success with at that power forward position. And I think he is an A tier guy. Rocco, I'm going to put in B tier. I do think Robert Covington is probably going to wind up being one of the best cards in B tier, and may even be a card that I wind up upgrading to A tier at some point. But 6'7" with a 7'2" wingspan. He's better, I think, at the 3 because of his defensive ability than at the 4. But overall, really solid card. Again, well-rounded defender with interior and perimeter ability. Good speed, good shooting, can dunk the ball a bit. He's very similar to Rocco, I feel like, or very similar to Batum, I mean. Probably a slightly better defender and a worse playmaker. Also doesn't get limitless or sniper because he is an Evo card. Doesn't get those upgradable badges like the limitless, the sniper, the bailout, the quick first step, badges like that are pretty key badges that he's not able to get. And those badges, I think, hold him back from being a next level type card. But the fact of the matter is, he can shoot the 3 at a high level and he can defend at a high level. And that's really all you need out of cards at times. I think he's better at the 3 than he is at the 4, but due to the fact that he is a primary power forward, he is on this list, and I will put him in the B tier. Aaron Gordon, I'm going to put in A tier as well. I might be gassing it just a bit with this Aaron Gordon card, but he's overall a pretty solid card. Comes with a 99 driving dunk. That's his maxed out stat. Also good speed, acceleration, and decent-ish speed with the ball. Solid all-around defense again. 86 shot 3 is good. Gold quick first step is his only playmaking badge. Unfortunately, doesn't get bailout or bullet passer, which are pretty crucial badges, or limitless spot up. Does get sniper, which is nice. Does get rim protector as well. Defensive badges are already pretty solid. And then Hall of Fame posterizer, limitless takeoff, corner specialist are some pretty good hoffs as well. Because of the fact that he doesn't get bullet passer or bailout, which I think are pretty crucial badges, I'm going to wind up actually putting him in the B tier. But overall, not a bad card at all. I'm not sure if this Amari Stoudemire is C or D tier, but I will say he's not a very good card at all. This was the Season 2 domination reward. Just not a very good card, though. 6'10" with a 7'1" wingspan. No hot shots on the 3-point line. Very limited total badges. Pretty much only finishing badges, and then not a lot else on this card. You can't add badges to him, but you can't add a lot of the key ones like bailout, bullet passer, quick first step, limitless sniper, clamps, interceptor, intimidator. There's just a lot of crucial badges that this card does not get. Defensive stats are super mediocre. He's not super fast. He's not a great shooter. This card is not good. I'm leaving him in the D tier. I think you could almost make an argument that he's in the F tier, to be completely honest. AK. This is tough. Let me look at these other power forwards real quick, decide whether I'm going to put them in S tier or in the A tier. AK is a really good card, though. There are definitely a few cards on this list that I would take over him, but my question is, are there enough of them that they prevent him from being in the S tier? And the answer, I don't think, is yes. I'm pretty sure the answer is no. So I'm going to put AK in the S tier for now. If I change my mind, he might wind up being at the top of A tier, but this is one of the best budget cards in the game right now. AK is just an elite all-around card, 6'9" with a 7-foot wingspan. Elite defender, great defensive badge with chase down artist, clamps, and pogo stick on Hoff, as well as pretty much all the key ones on gold. Does need quick first step added. as well as the sniper badge, and he doesn't get limitless, but overall he's a really good card. That's really the only key badge he's missing, is that limitless spot. He's got decent athletic ability, good shooting ability. Dunking isn't crazy, but he can still dunk the ball and has nice safe dunks that don't get blocked a lot. Jump shot 29 with release 21 upper is super solid. Jump shot 29 is the same base as Danny Granger, Glenn Robinson, Drew Holiday. It's just a really easy release to green. One of the best releases in 2K every single year, especially early in the game, and I'm a big fan of this AK card still as an elite budget small forward or power forward option. Anton Jameson, I think, is probably C tier. He's a decently well-rounded card, but he's outdated is the thing about this card. Statistically, he's not terrible, but like defensively, he's mediocre. Athletically, he's mediocre. He's a solid shooter. He's got Brook Lopez base, which is a good jumper. Finishing badges are decent. Doesn't get limitless or sniper or quick first step. Those are some key badges that you'd like to see him get. Does have the ability to get any defensive badge added if you want to add the clamps, the interceptor, intimidator, menace, post, lockdown, rim protector. Badges like that, you could do that, but my thing about a card like this is he's not an elite defender statistically. It's going to cost a lot to badge him up to make him a good defender, and his lack of playmaking ability is going to hurt the card as well. He just overall doesn't give you a ton on the court. Not a guy I would take up over any of the guys ahead of him, so I'm going to put him in the C tier for the time being. This AD, I'm not sure if this AD is even A tier at this point. He was so good when he came out early in the year, but that was a while ago at this point. I think this card came out in like September, and yeah, it's been okay, October 8th, but still, it's been a while since he came out. Not a super high tier card at this point, but for his time, he was really good. The problem is he doesn't have a ton of total badges. Does have Intimidator, Pogo Sticker, and Protector Set Shooter, Fearless Finisher, and Post Spin Technician on Hoff. Decent finisher. Shooting wise, he's solid, but doesn't get Limitless or Sniper, which is some crucial badges. So he's missing some badges you'd like to see on gold and stuff like that. Playmaking badge wise, you can add the ankle breaker, bailout, quick first step badges like that to really help this card out as well. Upgrade his bullet passer and his glue hands. So if you have those badges on him, he overall is a solid card. He's a pretty good defender. He's got decent-ish athleticism. He's better at the center than the power forward position, just not, I think, an elite card at the power forward position as well, but he is a solid enough card. Definitely a better option than a guy like Amari Stoudemire or Anton Jameson. So I do think he still probably does deserve to be in that C tier. Bob Pettit, I'm putting in D tier as well. I think there's even an argument to be made that this Bob Pettit card is F tier at this point. 6'9" with 7-foot wingspan, which is decent but not elite size. He's a terrible perimeter defender, super slow, missing most crucial defensive badges, and definitely not worth badging out at this point. Does get limitless spot up, does not get sniper. Jump shot is set shot 14, which is decent. It's the same, I think, jumper as like guys like Isaac Bonga, Kevin Garnett had it last year. There are a couple of the guys who have had this. I think Jokic had this jumper last year, so it's not the worst jumper in the world, but it's not the best jumper either. And honestly, I'm going to put him in F tier because of how slow he is at the power forward position. He is going to be a complete liability on the defensive end of the court at this point in the game, and I think he is overall an F tier card. Calvin Nat is better than Nick Batum. I think he is definitely an A tier guy. I think you could even make an argument that he is borderline S. The reason I'm not putting him in S tier is because, for one, he's only 6'6", and he needs a good amount of badges still added. Limitless spot up, sniper, quick first step. He does have quick first step on gold. I'm lying. Playmaking badges are solid, and defensive badges are solid as well, but you're probably going to want to add some shooting badges, the limitless, the sniper, like I said, as well as maybe Deadeye corner specialist, things like that. Good speed though, really good defender, great dunker. Shooting wise, he's solid. Jump shot 86 is pretty good. It's the same base as Miles Bridges. He is a righty, but it's solid enough. He's not going to be creating his own shot, but overall, he's a really good card. I think he's borderline S tier, a little bit undersized and not like the most elite card in any specific area, but he's just super well-rounded and really capable of doing basically everything on the court. Chris Bosh is another just outdated center option. The problem with Chris Bosh though is that I don't think he was ever like an elite center, even when he first came out at the end of September. 6'11" height is pretty good, but he doesn't have a lot of total badges. He doesn't get playmaking badges like quick first step, bullet passer, and bailout, which are crucial badges. He's not super fast. Actually, he's pretty slow. Defensively, he's super mediocre. His jumper is not great. It's a set shot. It's one of the better set shots, but it's not a great set shot whatsoever, and it's just overall not a good card. I'm going to put him in the F tier. He's a terrible card. I do not recommend running him at this point in the game. Chris Webber, I think, is on the same level as Anthony Davis. I think he's a slightly better card than Anthony Davis, actually, so I'm going to put him in the B tier above AD. He is shorter than AD by 2 inches, but he's a better shooter than AD. He gets sniper added, which AD does not add. Playmaking badge wise, he's more complete than AD. Does not get the quick first step badge, but he does get all the defensive badges added that you'd like to add to him. 82 speed and excel, 80 shot 3. He's a slightly quicker and slightly more well-rounded defender than a guy like AD. I like his jump shot as well. It's the same jump shot as like a guy like James Worthy. It's not the prettiest jumper in the world because his release is low, but it is very, very quick. It's jump shot 22, which is one of the better bases in MyTEAM. Just a weird upper, but it's super easy to green and super solid knockdown jumper. I do like this card a lot. He's definitely a B-tier guy, and I would definitely take him over Anthony Davis as well. Now, Cliff Robinson is an S-tier power forward. There's no doubt about that at all. This card is really good. Not very many people have him because you have to get 750 triple threat offline wins to get this card. But at 6'10 with a 7'1 wingspan, he's got really good size. He's got good speed, good shooting, good slashing, and really good defense on both the perimeter and the interior. Hoff Interceptor, Intimidator, Pogo Stick, Post Lockdown are some crucial Hoff badges that he does get. Also does get Limitless, does get Sniper. Already comes with basically all the playmaking badges that he needs on gold already, which just makes this card really good all around because he's an elite defender. He's got the playmaking that he needs. He gets the key shooting badges. Jump shot is not great. Again, yet another set shot, but it's not a bad set shot. Kevin McHale's jumper, it's not the worst. Fundamental dribble style is solid. You can create with that dribble style. It's the third best dribble style in the game after quick and shifty. And overall, I think this Cliff Robinson card is just a very, very good option at the power forward position. A top tier guy at the power forward or center position, to be completely honest. Now, Diamond Dirk is a pretty atrocious card. I will not lie to you. This card came out first day of October and just super slow, can't defend, can't dunk. As much as it pains me to say, he doesn't have any playmaking badges, any defensive badges. All this card can do is shoot, and his release is not elite. He is not worth running at all. Terrible card, definitely an F tier guy. I think Chris Bosh even deserves to probably move up because he's not in the same tier as these two guys who are down in F tier so far. Dolph Shays is our third S tier power forward. One of the best pick and pop players in the entire game right now. Comes in with really good stats as well all the way around. Besides his passing ability and his perimeter defense, he has elite stats all the way around. He's a great pick and pop guy. Driving dunk is really good. Shooting badges are great. Playmaking badges, unfortunately, he doesn't get bailout or quick first step, but those are the only two badges he doesn't get, and he does everything else at such a high level. He's a great defender. He's a really good rebounder. His jump shot is amazing. It's 38 on quick, which is one of the best jumpers in the game. Defensively, he's really well-rounded and does get the key defensive badges that you might want to add to him, like clamps and interceptor. And just overall, he does a lot on the basketball court at a really high level, and I'm a huge fan of this Dolph Shays card and think he definitely deserves to be an S-tier power forward in this game. It probably is the best power forward that we've looked at so far on this list. I'm looking at his power forward list. I'm not sure if AK is going to stay in S tier. He might wind up in A tier, but that's beside the point for now. Domantas Sabonis, I don't know how good this card is. I will be completely honest. I'm going to look and see if he's C or D tier. Probably not much better than that, though. 24 total gold badges and 5 Hoffs isn't great. Does have bullet passer, timer, and rebound chaser, which are some good ones, but he's slow. He's not a good defender. I know his jumper isn't great. He does get a lot of badges, but you're not going to want to badge him out because he's just not that good of a card. Jump shot 10 isn't great for a big man. Doesn't get limitless. Just overall, not a very good card. I think this is a D tier card in my personal opinion. Draymond Green is probably still C tier just because he's solidly well-rounded. He can defend a bit. He can shoot the ball. And he does have the pippin behind the back, which is nice in the full court, but not the best card in the world at this point. He is a little slow. Defensively, he's solid. He can dunk. He can shoot open. Again, total badges are low. This was a day one card, so he doesn't get a lot of the badges that you'd like to see on him, but he does get limitless spot up and quick first step, and a lot of people still have their Draymond badged out, as well as bailout, which are 3 crucial ones that he doesn't have already, but you can't add. Sniper can't be added, but that's one of the few crucial badges that he doesn't get. Not going to be the greatest card at anything, but he is going to be able to shoot at a solid level. He's going to have the pip behind the back, which is nice, and he's going to defend at a solid level as well. He's better than all the guys in D tier, so for that reason, I'm putting him in C. Now this Draymond Green, I think he goes S tier as well, because at the power forward position, I would take this Draymond Green card over Andre Kirilenko. 6'7" with a 7'1" wingspan, comes with hot sauce in 4 out of 5 spots, a good amount of badges. Playmaking badges are pretty complete already. Hall of Fame dimer, and then Hall of Fame intimidator, defensive leader, hustler, menace, and post lockdown as well. Clamps and interceptor on goal, as well as pogo stick, rebound chaser, rim protector. Overall, not missing much in either of those areas. You can add limitless and sniper to him, and those are really the only 2 key badges I think you need added. Really good defender, decent dunker, really solid shooter, good athletic ability as well. His jumper is super nice, and he has the pippin behind the back still. Just a much better card, much better version of this other Draymond card. This Draymond is one of the best budget cards in my team currently, and it's a guy who I recommend in pretty much every single No Money Spent squad at this point in the game. And then we have the best power forward in the game. I know I already have 5 S tier power forwards, and I might wind up having to switch AK down in the event that I decide to add one of these other power forwards to the S tier, but The best power forward in my team, still in my personal opinion, is still Giannis Antetokounmpo, especially the NBA 75th version who can get any badge, because you can add the limitless spot badge, you can add sniper, you can add catch and shoot, you can add deadeye, and he pretty much comes with everything else that he needs in terms of the key playmaking badges. Has every defensive badge, really good finishing badges, great speed, great defense. He's Giannis. He has that freakish player build that helps him out to be elite on the defensive end of the court. His jumper is really good. You can green open with this Giannis, even though his shot 3 is only a 69. I've talked about it before. With a shoe, with a coach, with a floor general, you're getting that into the 80s, and especially with the added badges that you can add and how easy shooting is this year, plus his smooth release, you can be a knockdown shooter with this Giannis card. And overall, he gives you a lot on the basketball court, and definitely is a guy who I think does deserve to be in the S tier, and I think he probably is still the best power forward in my team as well. Jay Crowder, I'm honestly not completely sure where this card would go. I haven't looked at him in a long time, and I know he is a bit outdated. Only comes with 25 total badges. You're not going to want to badge him out as a Ruby. He's a little slow. I know his jumper is decent, and he's a solid enough defender, so that's, I guess, nice. I think this card is on a similar level to Shifty Dribble Style is good as well at the power forward position. Most cards don't have a dribble style like that, which is nice, but he's a little slow. He doesn't have a lot of playmaking ability, is an elite shooter, isn't an elite defender. He doesn't do anything super elite, but I feel like he's well-rounded enough. Is he C tier? He's probably D tier. I think he probably is the best of these 4 guys in D tier, but still probably a D tier guy at this point. And I'm actually going to move AD down to C tier as well, just because I don't think he's all that good at this point in the game, although he probably still is the best card in the C tier currently. Jamal Mashburn is probably B tier. Jamal Mashburn is just another solid all-around card who doesn't do anything great, but doesn't do anything bad. Solid badge amount. Does get limitless and sniper as well as quick first step if you want to add those badges to him. Defensively, you can add clamps, interceptor, intimidator. He needs to be badged out to be effective, but if he is badged out, he can be a decent defender, a decent slasher, a good shooter, and decent athlete as well. Another one of those well-rounded guys, similar to a guy like Rocco and Eric Gordon, who don't do anything at a super high level, but can be solid all the way around. His jumper, again, mediocre, not bad, not great. Just overall, another mediocre card, I think, deserving of being in that B tier. Not going to do anything at a stupid high level, but he's not going to do anything super poorly either. Jaren Jackson Jr. is definitely an A tier power forward or center option, because I think he can play the center position, honestly, probably better than he can at the power forward position, but he's got really good size. He's a great shooter. His jumper is good. Hall of Fame catch and shoot, gold limitless, and sniper. You don't need to add any shooting badges to this card. Also, the only playmaking badges he need added is quick first step, and then defensively, he doesn't need a ton of badges added either. He's a pretty complete card just as the base version of himself. 83 speed and excel, good shooting, good dunking, good defense. Just overall a really good card. Jumper is solid, like I said. He's not going to be creating much for you, but everything else, the pick and pop of the defensive end of the court and the rebounding ability, this Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to give you at a very high level. Jerry Lucas is another version of Bob Pettit. They're both very slow, and all they can do is shoot, and I can basically say that about Jerry Lucas as well. He's got Ray Allen base, which is great, but the upper that he has is really gross and makes this jumper a significantly worse jumper, but he's super slow. He's a poor defender, doesn't come with a lot of key badges. You don't want to badge this card out anyway. Overall, he doesn't give you much on the court on either end of the court. Definitely an F tier guy, I think, at this point in the game, especially because of that lack of speed. John Collins is... I think John Collins is B tier. I considered putting him in the A tier, but I think he is a B tier guy, just because he is missing some crucial badges. He doesn't get limitless spot up. He's not an elite athlete. He's not an elite defender, but he does get quick first step, does get sniper. Defensively, he's decent. Hall of Fame rebound chaser, pogo stick, and chase down artist are some good badges. He can get every defensive badge added as well. Jumper is really good. He's got Kobe base, which is absolutely phenomenal. And overall, he's not a bad card. He's not an elite card. He doesn't do anything at a he's good. He's solid. If you have this card out of the Pink Diamond Token reward, you could use him off your bench and have some success with him, but he's not the best card in the world. I think he is still a B tier card at this point in the game. Jonathan Isaac, I think I might be gassing it a little bit typically to put a Sapphire in the A tier on a tier list for the best cards at that position in the game, but this Jonathan Isaac 100% deserves it. He's got good speed, good shooting, good dunking, and elite defense. He is an elite defender. Comes with key gold badges. He's got that 6'11 player build with really good length. He's similar to Giannis, I feel like, on the defensive end of the court, where he's just really hard to score on in both off the ball and on the ball situations. He comes with the key playmaking badges he has. Catch and shoot and corner specialists are enough for him to be a solid shooter, especially with jump shot 70 on quick, which is the same base as guys like Tobias Harris. Fundamental dribble style as well. It's better than base or slasher or power or big or those other dribble styles that don't allow you to create. He can create just a bit, especially with the gold quick first step as well. And overall, he gives you a lot on the court. Really, really good card for a Sapphire, a guy you still see run in some God squads. And overall, just a really good card still in my team. Josh Smith is also, I think, in the C tier along with Anthony Davis. I think they're on very similar levels. Josh Smith probably isn't quite as good of a card as a guy like AD, but still a solid card. Good speed, really good defense, really good dunker. Shooting wise, he's not going to be elite, but he can still knock it down even without the shooting badges because he has a good release and a 74 shot three. It is still very possible to green open even with no shooting badges like this. If y'all have used this card, you know it is very capable to green with. Defensively, he's really good, especially if you get one that is upgraded badge wise, and you have to get those playmaking badges like bullet passer, bailout, and quick first step on him as well. But if you can find one badged out on the auction house, he's still a usable card. Probably not an elite card at this point, but I'm very excited for our next Josh Smith card, who I think will be an elite power forward in my team when he does come out. Julius Randle. This card is very bad. I'm not going to put him in D tier because he's not, or in F tier because he's not slow like the guys in F tier are, but he's not a fast guard. 79 speed and excel isn't crazy. Defensively, he's super mediocre. He is a good catch and shoot guy even without Limitless or Sniper because he's got a good release, so you're going to green open with him, but he doesn't have a lot of key playmaking badges on gold, at least like Silver Bullet, Bronze Bailout, Bronze Quick First Step. Just isn't anything crazy. Defensively, again, super mediocre on both the badge and the stat side. Jumper, like I said, is pretty good. It's the same base as guys like Embiid, but it's lefty, but still not the worst jumper in the world. But overall, he doesn't give you a ton on the court at this point in the game, and I think that he definitely does deserve to be a D tier guy. Kevin Garnett. This is getting tough, I'm realizing, because I have too many guys in the S tier. I'm going to have to move AK down, but I'm probably going to have to move somebody else down too, and that makes it really tough for me. KG actually might wind up getting moved down. We'll have to wait and see, but I think KG is better than AK, so I think he does deserve to be in that S tier. There's more elite power forwards in the game right now than I had previously recognized and realized. But 87 speed and excel, really good dunker, great defense. He can get any badge in the game. He's going to need Limitless, Sniper, Bailout, Quick First Step added to the card, as well as maybe another badge, which pretty much can be your choice. But he's an elite defender with Hoff Interceptor, Intimidator, Post Lockdown, and Rim Protector. Really good rebounder, great defender. Jump shot is decent, not great. It's a little bit slow, but it's easy to green. He's a good pick and pop guy. He's elite at the center position. He's really solid at power forward as well, and he gives you a lot on especially the defensive end of the court, but really solid offensive ability as well, and just an overall really good card in my team right now. Still a guy who I think you can run with a ton of success if you did grind him out in Season 2. Lamar Odom is another C tier diamond. Is just not a very good card. He's not like completely awful, but he's not very good. Decent speed, decentish defense, doesn't get a lot of key badges. Like, you can't add defensive badges like Clamps and Interceptor, which are two of the most important ones in the game. Does get Quick First Step if you wanted to add it to him, but I'm not recommend adding badges to this card at this point. Sniper is good that you can add, but no Limitless spot up. Jumper is Aldridge based, which is pretty gross. It's not a good jump shot at all. Paul George dribble style is the fundamental dribble style, which is decent, but the bad jumper and the bad defense really hurts this card, and I think puts him from being a potential B tier guy to a C tier guy for sure. This Larry Bird is probably another C tier guy because he's just not, he doesn't do anything at a super high level. I don't feel like this card was decent when he came out, but not a guy I locked in for, and I'm glad I didn't, because he's got 77 speed. He's a mediocre, I mean, he's a decent defender, but nothing crazy. He's slow. He's not an elite defender. He doesn't come with a ton of total badges, a lot of silver badges. He's going to be a good shooter because Larry's always a good shooter, a lot of good shooting badges on the card. Jumper is super good, but he can't create it all. He needs a lot of badges. Overall, just not a very good card at this point. And I think he is, he's barely a C tier guy in all honesty at this point. This Larry Bird, I am going to put in A tier and toward the top of A tier as well. I think him and AK can definitely go toward the top of A tier. And Pink Diamond Larry is a very solid card. Definitely a super usable option still in the game. Comes with Hall of Fame Bullet Passer, Hustler, Tireless Defender, Blinders, Catch and Shoot, Corner Specialist, Limitless, and Sniper, as well as Set Shooter. Decent speed, solid enough defender. Not the greatest again, but decent. Elite shooter. Still not going to be able to dunk unless he's wide open. Like with a 45 driving dunk, he can dunk wide open, but that's about it. But playmaking wise, he's much improved. Just needs the Quick First Step badge added. Defensively, also much improved. Could still use Interceptor, Pogo Stick, Rebound Chaser. A couple badges like that to help him out. But if you do get this card and badge him out, he's a super solid power forward option. So going to be an elite pick and pop guy as well. Just overall a very good card. Miles Bridges, I think, is definitely a B tier option at this point. Nothing crazy, but when he came out, he was a very solid budget card. His jumper is pretty good. He does get Limitless, Spot Up, and Sniper added. Playmaking wise, he comes with most of the key ones, and he can get any defensive badge added as well. Defensively, he's mediocre, not great, not terrible. Good speed, great athlete, really good jumper. Like I said, it's that same 86 with release 21 upwards, the exact same jumper as Calvin Nat, except it's left-handed instead of right-handed, but it's very smooth and easy to green. It's very quick as well, which helps him out a lot. He's a great catch and shoot guy, great athlete in transition, and a solid enough defender as well. And definitely, I think, a B tier guy. Siakam Siakam, I'm going to put in D tier, similar to the reason that I'm not putting a guy like Jay Crowder or who else did I not put in F tier? I don't know, guy like Julius Randle, similar. I think he's honestly on a similar level to Randle. Mediocre defender, mediocre speed, mediocre shooting, mediocre everything. He's very similar actually to like a guy like Draymond Green as well, except I don't think he's as good as that Draymond Green, but very, very mediocre card. He's missing some key badges like quick first step, limitless, and sniper. You don't want to add badges to a card like this at this point either, but he can play make a little, he can defend a little, he can shoot a little. He's not the worst card in the game, but he's not going to do anything at a super high level, so definitely still a D tier guy. Paul Millsap, I think is probably B tier, but I'll be completely honest, I haven't looked at this card in a while. I did do a gameplay with him, but then I kind of forgot about him after that. He's got decent-ish speed, decent-ish defense, pretty good defense, good shooting, dunking is decent, defensive badges are solid, playmaking badges are okay, not great, but he doesn't get bailout, which does hurt. He can shoot open, does get sniper, doesn't get limitless, but I know his jumper's okay. Fundamental dribble style is okay. He's there. He's not bad. He's probably one of the worst cards in B tier, but I think because of the fact that he's got a good jumper, he's a good defender, he can shoot open, I think he definitely still is a B tier guy, just not an elite card at this point in the game. Paul Silas is another one of the really good power forward options who I'm putting in A tier. Definitely a guy who's still very usable even in a competitive setting. An elite defender, does have the pro 3 behind the back, has shifty dribble style, which means he moves better in the half court than most any power forward. Exact same jumper as Draymond. It's super easy to green, not the fastest jumper in the world, but if you add the shooting badges to him, you add catch and shoot, you add sniper, you add limitless, those 3 badges are super key, but it makes him a knockdown shooter because his rating is good enough where he can shoot the ball at a high level. Half interceptor, intimidator, and pogo stick is super nice. Really good defender all the way around. Comes with the key playmaking badges he needs, and just overall really, really good card. I do recommend probably adding glue hands to him, but as long as you add glue hands as well as those shooting badges, you're looking at a super solid option in Paul Silas who can still create for you at a pretty high level, defend at a high level, shoot the ball at a solid level as well, and just overall a really good card. Another one of those really solid power forwards that still is ending up in the A tier. Rick Barry, I think, is probably D tier. I don't actually know that for sure. I have not looked at this card in forever. I think I looked at him one time the day he came out, but yeah. Doesn't get limitless, so that's the first thing. Silver sniper, needs badges added, and you're not going to badge out a card like this at this point. Mediocre defender, mediocre speed, mediocre shooter. Jump shot wise, jump shot what? 18 is Manu's. It's not a good jumper either. Yeah, he's bad. He's maybe not the worst card in D tier, but he's definitely bad. And that jump shot really pushes it over the edge. The fact that he's got Manu's jumper, which is a pretty gross jump shot in my opinion, and just overall kind of ruins the card. Serge Ibaka, I think maybe putting him in F tier at this point might be a little rude, but he's got 56 speed. I mean, he's so dang slow. He's not going to defend at all. He's not going to play make at all. Doesn't have crucial badges like bullet pass or bailout and quick first step. He's not going to do anything for you except for catch and shoot wide open and play interior defense and rebound a little bit. But that's all he gives you, and just overall not a good card at all at this point in the game, especially because of how slow he is. Speed like that is a complete liability on both ends of the court, and I think he does deserve to probably be still an F tier guy. Sean Kemp, is he C tier? Is he B tier? I don't really know. I know his jumper isn't great. Badge wise, he's decent. I guess limitless takeoff, posterizer, unstrippable, fast twitch, downhill, and pogo stick are some solid badges. Defensively, he's super mediocre. He does have, I believe, fundamental dribble style, which is pretty good. Jump shot is mediocre. Good speed though, decent-ish shooter, but I don't like the jumper, like I said. Dunking wise, he's elite. He's a really solid rebounder. Does need some badges added, especially on the defensive end of the court, as well as sniper, and doesn't get limitless spot up. I think he's probably a B tier guy. I think he's better than AD, but not a great card whatsoever. Still not an elite option at that power forward position. Tim Duncan, this is probably yet another B. I don't see how I can put Tim Duncan in D tier. He's F tier. I'm sorry. Tim Duncan has 69 speed and can't shoot the ball. Need I say anything else? He's slow, can't shoot, mediocre defender. The card's not good. I'm not even wasting my time. This Tim Duncan, though, is a significantly better option. The Pink Diamond Tim Duncan is an A tier guy. Super solid at the center position and decent at power forward as well. 9 Hoffs, including drop stepper, postman technician, really good defensive badges like intimidator, interceptor, post lockdown, rebound chaser, and rim protector, as well as a couple other rebounding ones. Good speed, can shoot open, defends at a much higher level, good slasher. Badge wise, he can get limitless and sniper added, as well as quick first step. And if you add those 3 badges to him, he's pretty complete for the most part at this point. Jump shot is still not not great, but it is easy enough to green when you are wide open. It's nice and smooth, and just overall, he gives you a solid amount on the court. Better at center than at power forward, but even at power forward, he does deserve to be in the A tier on this list. Tom Chambers is yet another one of those guys who, because he's not super slow, isn't in the F tier, but he's dang close to F tier. Just not a card I recommend using at all. 70 speed, 70 excel. He's pretty slow. I lied. His jumper is terrible too. He's slow. 6'16" is gross. Like, it's really, really bad. All he does is dunk, but he's super slow, so he's not going to be able to get to the rim to dunk. He doesn't have quick first step or bullet. No, this card is awful. I'm putting him in D tier. I would take any card in C tier over this Tom Chambers card, especially with how bad his jumper is. He is a gross, gross card. Zion is probably one of the better options in the C tier, but the problem with Zion is, for one, his jumper isn't great, and for two, his jump shot rating isn't great. So those two things hurt the card. 78 shot 3 is decent, but he doesn't have any shooting badges. Zion release is decent, but it's not really that decent. It's pretty bad. It's not completely awful, but it's not good. Defensively is good. He's going to be an elite slasher, obviously, but he is a bit undersized at only 6'7". Actually, 6'7" isn't terrible size. I thought he was 6'6", but defensively, if you badge him out, he's going to be solid. He's going to be a solid rebounder. He's going to be a really good athlete, but unfortunately, his lack of shooting ability does hurt the card and puts him in the C tier for me personally. This Dirk is another. I'm going to put him in C tier, and he's definitely the highest rated card in the C tier. Who is this slow? Only 65 speed is definitely a liability, but I do think he is. I don't know. He's got a lot of good shooting badges, which helps him out, and I am partial to Dirk, and he can get any badge, so you could add the clamps, the interceptor, the quick first step, the bullet pass, and the bailout to make him a better option, but he's slow. He's not a good defender. I'm trying to be nice. His jumper is mediocre as well. I'm going to put him in D tier. I don't think he's as bad as any of the guys in F tier, especially with the badges that he has, but overall, just not a very good card at all. Nate did mention to me that he accidentally put Dirk twice, and he couldn't figure out how to take him off, so obviously this Dirk would be in D tier as well. I'm not even going to touch the card, though, and put him there. It's the same card twice. But Evan Mobley is another A tier guy for sure. Really, really good card. One of the best budget players in my team right now. He's super cheap and super good. Comes with an 81 speed, 81 excel, 84 shot 3, good dunker, really good defender. His jumper is really good. Badge-wise, defensively, he's great. Playmaking badge-wise, same thing, just needs quick first step added. And then he can get limitless and sniper as well, which are the two most important shooting badges in my team. Jump shot 84 is super solid, easy to green. It's the same base as Maxi quickly, guys like that. And just overall, he's a great pick and pop big. He's a really good defender. He's a solid athlete. He shoots the ball at a high level, gets the key badges he needs, and overall, it's just a really, really good budget option at that power forward position. And then finally, we have the other S tier power forward, who's Rudy Gay. I think Rudy Gay is the second best power forward in my team. And for me personally, this is tough. I'm actually going to go with 6 S tier guys, because I think all of these guys deserve to be in the S tier for this tier list. But Rudy Gay, I think, is the second best power forward in the game. I think this Rudy Gay should be on every single team in my team, bar none. For his price, every no money spent player should have him, because he's like 70 KMT or less, and he's super, super elite. He's got great speed, great defense, great slashing ability, elite shooting. His jumper is really good. Doesn't get limitless spot up. That's the only key badge he doesn't get. You can add intimidator, menace, rim protector, handles for days if you wanted to, sniper. Like, you can add a lot of badges to this card. He's got great speed, great finishing. He's got an elite player build, super tall, and quick dribble style with the pippin behind the back. So he can dribble in the half court. He can dribble in the full court. Rudy Gay release is elite. One of my favorite jumpers every year, and this year is no different. It's basically auto greens, and just overall, he does everything at such a high level on the basketball court. I love this card. He is going to be in my lineup for the foreseeable future, and I think he is without a doubt an S tier guy, and a guy that you should 100% pick up for your squad if you haven't already. And then finally, we have this Blake Griffin. I'm not sure if Blake is A or B. I think he might be A, but the thing about Blake is he's got good speed, good shooting, great slashing, but mediocre defense. Defensive badges are solid, I will say. Like, he gets clamps, interceptor, pick dodger, intimidator, things like that. Playmaking badges are decent as well. Doesn't get bailout, which is a badge that you'd like to see him have. That does hurt to not have, but that's the only key badge he doesn't get. He does get limitless. Already has sniper. I lied. He's an A tier guy. Not the greatest card in the world. A mediocre defender, but he's a solid jump shooter. He's got really good athleticism. Not going to be creating much at all, but he isn't a awful defender badge wise. Stat wise, he's not great, but overall, I think he definitely is a good enough card that he does deserve to be somewhere in this A tier. And overall, the power forward position is really deep. As y'all can see with this tier list, there's a lot of good power forwards in the A tier who are very affordable, and even in the S tier with Rudy Gay, Draymond Green, and Dolph Shays, who are super affordable guys that you can pick up for your squad and have a lot of success with. And the power forward position is pretty deep. Now, admittedly, anybody C tier and below, don't touch them. Even the B tier guys, if possible, try to use some A tier guys and S tier guys as your power forward options. But there are a lot of super solid options, and I hope that my insight did help y'all out in this video. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.